So I've decided that I want to do a fast. I've been meaning to do this for a very long time. And the other part of this is I really wanted to document this journey. I wanted to be able to essentially do rolling fast until I get to where I want to get to. I mean, without going to details, maybe I'll use another video for details and such, but in 2019, I would say I was my best self, and I still wasn't my best self, right? But in that sense, there were still some flaws. There were still some things that I personally wanted to achieve with my body, with my health and such, which I should have been on the journey to go forward. But after the pandemic, going through the pandemic and all of that, which I thought that in the moment I would be able to handle that with grace, did not. I fell backwards. I took steps back. So long story short, here we are. It's March 2025. I think I've said I want to do this often. I've also said that I want to document it. There were goals that I wanted to have in health and body and wealth, all of that. But I backtracked, and now I am here, March 2025, and I just want to be able to document this journey and show people that it's possible, right? So just a quick story, or I won't say a quick story, but just a quick, 30-foot view of where it is that I'm coming from and who you might be if you relate. This is really just going to be about me just talking about what it is I want to document, right? Back in 2012, I think it is. Was it 2012? I got to go back and see myself. I think it was December of 2012. Or was it December of 2013? No, it was December of 2012. Okay. So December of 2012, I actually did what's called vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I did the sleeve surgery, and it worked. I probably didn't get to losing, I think I lost a total of like maybe 80 something pounds or so, or either 80 something or 70 something. I'll have to go back and I'll do the math on another story time. But the point is, I did VSG. I lost weight. I still had goals to get to, and though I didn't get to those, I kind of teeter-tattered and gained weight a few years after, prior to the pandemic happening. I got into fasting and I really enjoyed it. I loved how my body felt. I actually started eating plant-based, and that was really good. After a while, I did end up adding fish back or so, but now I've added everything and my body feels it. Long story short. So if we go through that entire timeline, I ended up dropping the weight and going back to where it was that I normally was, and I enjoyed that, right? Pandemic came, and that's during the pandemic, maybe even really towards the latter, I was still eating like more so pescatarian. I guess the primary would have been plant-based, plus I'd also eat like seafood, because you just couldn't get me to stop eating Chilean sea bass, but whatever. But fast forward from there, I did end up saying, okay, well, I want to try meats again, or whichever the case may be, and I did. And I guess that's the island in me and something that I'm probably gonna have to fight, but I started eating meat again, and I started eating a lot more processed foods and just doing a lot of things that I just was not doing. Island girl here. I was born here, but my parents are from the islands. I think I'm always going to eat oxtail, curry goat. Anyways, long story short, I don't think it was something that I would keep out of my diet for very long. But I think the issue was I did go to the store and I did get it there, and I started incorporating that way. And then it became a convenience thing. I started adding a lot of things that I wasn't eating. A year after actually eating those foods, I ended up getting a little bit of a higher, like an elevated cholesterol, which it was crazy because to me that's never been an issue, and that shows you like our bodies definitely change with age. But as soon as I'm like eating that, like all of a sudden, like now I'm having health conditions and just not favorable. And even in noticing that, I would say that was at least 4 years ago. So in knowing that, I've just been in this weird space, right, where I'm just putting it off, procrastinating, continuously procrastinating. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And then I don't get to it, right? So this is really coming about. I've recently just kind of, well, I've been saying it, but I want to document it to hold myself accountable as well and to share that story with others. And I'm still struggling with the same things. Like I said, I don't know, like my mind, I've been saying I want to do things often, but I've been procrastinating, putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And that's just not the right behavior, right? I want to be able to really fix a lot of things, right? I want to build my relationship with God. I want to get closer to God in that sense. I want to heal my body. I want to get back to eating right. I want to get back to feeling better. And so a part of that, I've decided that I want to do a 10-day water fast. From the 10-day water fast, I'm going to do 5 days of dry fasting. These are the goals. Don't know if we'll make it, but the goals are we vlog it so we can hold ourselves accountable, right? Then I want to do 7 days of fruits and vegetables and then some rolling fast. I'm thinking rolling 3-day dry fast, and then, we'll do 3 days on, 4 days off, and be sure to cut out processed foods, dairy, and amongst some other things. So I just wanted to take some time, introduce myself. Hey, I'm Sherika. I'm here. If this is a journey you want to follow, I'd love to have you. I'd love to hear about your journey. But yeah, we're going to do it. We got to get back to feeling ourselves, loving ourselves internally, externally, spiritually, everywhere. And this is where it starts.